To help support me in the channel, you can use one of the links below and press the notifications bell to alert you of a new video. Now, back to the video. Being my first Mario and Sonic at the Olympics game, I was a bit skeptical about it. I didn't know if the controls would be good or if it'd even have a story mode. Let's find out if any of those things are in this game and are good in this review. The good news is the game actually has a story mode. The flow of the story feels like that of a JRPG. Without getting into too many spoilers, here it is. Mario, Sonic, Dr. Eggman, and Bowser get sucked up into a portal that puts them into a 1964 Olympic Games game machine. They must work on a way to get out of the machine before a fateful doomsday. Meanwhile, Tails, Luigi, and many of the companions that accompany them along their journey will focus on winning as many gold medals as possible. They are also working on a way for our famous protagonists and antagonists to escape this dangerous console. The story is fun, and I feel like it is definitely great for children. I really like the moments in the 1964 world. Eggman and Bowser are a funny couple, and a comic relief to this game's plot. While playing as Luigi and Tails, I didn't think the story was as good from their perspective. I do think the story mode is really good compared to the rest of the game. However, the ending is terrible and the final event in the game is so underwhelming.
On your marks.
If it'll actually work. He didn't even do the super dash, even though I'm pressing it. That's the final thing of the game. No, I don't know. I hope not. If that's the final, very final thing, my rating's staying the same. Gameplay in Mario and Sonic at the Olympics 2020 is a mixed bag. I'm talking about the motion controls. When I want to play a game like this with a group of friends, I expect the game to work properly. However, when I played the game with the motion controls, some games didn't always work how I think the game developers thought it should. The button controls are fine, but when I play with the Joy-Cons, it was quite a struggle to even get the controls to work. It's actually worked yesterday, so I don't know why it's not doing anything. So I did something yesterday. What was that? I'm doing exactly what you're telling me to do. The best working Joy-Con games are badminton, table tennis, and running events. The The worst games that didn't work well with the Joy-Con's motion controls were the disc throwing and rock climbing walls. If you want a good motion control game, this is definitely not it. However, with the button controls, the game is really fun. While playing in the 1964 Minigames in the story mode, I felt like the game's level of difficulty was broken. At one moment, it's really easy, but at other times, it was too hard and felt impossible to beat. The game allows you to skip an event if you lose 3 times. An example of this is a canoe race against an overpowered Bowser who is all juiced up and powerful. You have to spin your left Joy-Con's analog stick to the right amount in order to go faster. First problem with this is the Joy-Con's analog sticks feel pretty weak as is. I don't know if Nintendo is intentionally trying to get you to break your controller so that you can spend another $70 to replace them, or if they don't understand good controls. The other problem with this is he's way overpowered, and I think a child will try too hard at this game only to come up short every time. I'm a 20-plus-year-old adult. If I cannot do it, how can a child do it? You're given an impossible task, and this is a game that feels like it's made for children. But there are no levels of difficulty, and it's sometimes too hard for anyone, including children. The level of difficulty feels broken. Game events like the vault and diving minigames are impossible. How can I get the score to a 10, let alone the minimum 6? If the scores seem randomly generated, one of the judges gave me a 7.5, but others gave me a 5 or a 4.5 on the diving. That's too far apart. Also, the game says perfect, but I could not complete the minigame. With the vault, the game would keep saying the same thing, perfect, but I could never win the event. Anyways, many of the minigames are not good for the classic looking part of the story mode. Bad?
The athlete is calm. Here we go, very strong form, and a rotation. Adds a somersault.
That was it? Perfect!
Brilliant! That'll be a high score! A great score!
So I have to do a better one.
The crowd is watching quiet. Here's the dive. A perfect dive. Going for it. This should net a hot. Going for it.
Is that better?
Amazing! What do the judges think?
That was worse.
What an amazing...
Oh my goodness. However, my favorite, even though it was sometimes really hard, was the 4 floors sneaking minigame. The first 3 levels were easy, and then the last level was really fun and challenging. I did say the difficulty was way off in the game, didn't I? In this minigame, it feels and is beatable. It also feels rewarding and doesn't feel like an Olympic game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The game design is on point. I love walking around in 2020 Tokyo and exploring the limiting areas. I wish you could actually go inside more places, explore and talk to more NPCs, but the game has enough inside of these events to fulfill my needs. There are also facts about the Olympic Games and Mario and Sonic characters. Each time you win or skip through a match, you will unlock more information nodes. If you want, you can completely skip these. You can also talk to characters and NPCs. Green toads will provide you with sometimes similar information as the nodes. The minor problem I want to bring up before continuing is that there are spelling mistakes here and there. I caught 2 when I was actually reading. You'd think that big AAA companies like Sega and Nintendo would have a spell checker for words like museum and athlete, but how they were spelled was museum, like M-U-S-U-E instead of E-U, and every other time in the game I never saw museum spelled wrong. And they have athlete, like so A-T-H-E-L-E-T-E. There's no need for the extra E there. And I don't remember seeing athlete spelled wrong again. But this should not be happening when you're a AAA company. The graphics look good. I really enjoyed the 1964 mode the best. Some people pointed out in the live stream that there are no voice actors, but I feel like it was completely okay. I have no problems with that. Overall, I feel like there were some major flaws with this game, which are game controls, game balancing issues, spelling errors, and missing game modes. I feel like there could be some cool at-home game modes that could make for a fun family game night. It also is a game that you need to play with a friend or friends because it is not fun alone. The story mode is a great addition, but the gameplay has so many flaws. It is a great game for a much cheaper price. I would not buy this at full price unless you have more than one person in your home. Another point that I want to make is that it looks and feels like a children's game, but the difficulty seems way too hard for a child to even play this game. I'm giving this game a 5 out of 10. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's absolutely painful. It's a 50-50 game, so it's a 50 out of 100, so since it's a 50 out of 100, it's a 5 out of 10. If you still want to buy this game, or you found it on sale on Amazon, you can use my Amazon link below, or you can use the PlayAsia link below, and use the code R3D for an additional $3 off. I also want to give a shout out to my patrons for this month, Yo-Yo Mongo, Sten0328, and Snizzy Snaz Bullets. Thank you guys for being my patrons for this month. If you'd like to help support me in any way, you can use one of the links below, or you can donate to my Patreon. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.